Hello friends, and today we are going to learn about Magento's extension quality program. Actually, Magento created this program so that any developer who is submitting their extension or module on marketplace, so before that they can check their code and can verify their code against certain standards, and if that standards are fulfilled then only they submit their code. Otherwise Magento will have to check their code against these standards and the workload will increase. So this program has uh, given us a functionality where we can check our code against certain standards even though we are not willing to submit our extension on marketplace. So whenever there is a module creation for any of your customer that you are not going to even submit on your marketplace, you should be checking your code against it, and this will improve your coding standards and overall quality of project. So to understand this deeper, first of all, let's go to the dev docs, and you will see that in your development area Magento has a section for, I think, coding standards. Yeah, here you can click here, and you will see that Magento is very conscious about their coding standard and the modules that will be developed in future. In Magento 1 there were certain restriction for this, and the code was really very messy. People were not able to upgrade their extension, and if there was a Magento upgrade then lots of things were breaking. So everything that is complex can be managed just by following these standards. But today we will only be focusing on certain aspects of this, and one of them is code sniffer. Well, PHP has this library from couple of years now, and they call that code sniffers. So someone created these code sniffers so that a person can check their current code against the standards. So for example, you're creating a class and you have given additional spaces between your class name and the extend keyword. The code sniffer is capable to check that and will tell you to remove the space, because that space will be again compiled. And there are lots and lots of things that can be checked here. And then code sniffers goes to the PSR standards that are set for programming languages. There are code sniffers for that suits PSR 1, PSR 2, 3 and 4, and Magento supports PSR 1 and PSR 2 standards, so we will be discussing only these two. So you can go to their websites or phpfig.org, and you can see that what are the standards for PSR 1 and PSR 2, and try to implement these in your code. But if you don't, then no worries, we have a tool that will tell you that what's the problem in your code. So first thing is to understand code sniffers. Code sniffer is a kind of a tool or library or a third party created module or whatever you want to understand, which helps us to check our code against certain standards. Now these standards are set using PSR 1, PSR 2, that are the standard coding standards. But apart from these, Magento has their own coding standards as well. So Magento created their own code sniffer so that their own standards plus the standards that they follow can be incorporated into this, and the final output is actually Magento specific only. So they created this repository in your Magento. You can see that here we have the vendor name Magento and the marketplace EQP. EQP stands for extension quality program. You can simply download this and just extract it into any folder, perform a composer install command, and everything is good to go. I have just downloaded and composer installed it. I'll go to my terminal now and will let you know how you can manage this, or you can run the commands here. I downloaded it into my downloads folder and moved it into htdocs, and this I am right now into it. First thing is to note here is we have two things for code sniffers. First is code sniffer can check our code, or code sniffer can check and resolve certain issues from our code. So let me execute this command first, and after that I'll tell you what's this. Okay, so I ran this command, and here I define that from my coding standards folder, just go to phpcs. Okay, phpcs is the first thing, and the other is phpcbf, which is code beautifier, and this is kind of a code checking. The beautifier is code check plus resolve the issues. So this is our phpcs path, and after that we give them the path of our module. Okay, and then we set the standard what we want to follow, and then severity 1 to 10. Magento, if there is no severity 10 issue, then you can submit your extension on Magento marketplace, and the files that we want them to check specifically. Okay, so I ran this command on the module that we have developed till now. In our lateway folder we have only first unit module, and here you can see that it has checked, and two possible errors are found. So they have given us the details, the line number and the file name in which that particular error is. Here we don't have a very serious here anywhere, but we should be resolving all of them. So this is the first command that you can use, and the second command is cbf, which is code sniffers fixers and beautifier command. uh, there are only echo related issues right now, but it can go to your module and resolve certain issues as well. So it will automatically edit your files and will resolve the issue. So there are two things that needs to be considered, and they are really very simple. I just need you to go to this repository and check their explanation and the two commands that you need to use, and that's all. After that your code will be uh, up to certain standards and can be shared across, and you will face no problems even on your Jenkins server or any other server if your code follows the PSR standards from Magento's extension quality program. One more thing to note here is that this place or this thing is actually standardizing your code. Okay, so whenever you're going to create any module, uh, even though you are not submitting it on your marketplace, this should be your practice, and I'll highly recommend you to just download this. It's really very simple, and if you have any questions for this, you can let me know and I'll be happy to help you. Thank you very much. This was all for this lecture. Talk to you later in next lecture. Thanks, bye.